What you are about to hear is not five separate stories. It is a single truth, broken apart and carefully reassembled. A story about why the universe may have descended, why humanity was allowed to forget, and why thinking together might be considered dangerous. If you choose to listen to this as a whole, slow down, because some warnings are not meant to be heard, they are meant to be noticed. Why do some people believe our universe may have fallen from higher dimensions into three dimensions? If strange mist like this suddenly appears in your room, you'd better make sure you're not still dreaming. This is a rebooted story shared by a viewer named Mike Lee. Let's just call him Mike. Mike had strange and abstract dreams ever since he was a child. A few months ago, the world inside his dreams collapsed. In that dream, a presence appeared, calling itself a fourth-dimensional life form, communicating not with sound, but with frequency. That frequency told Mike that humanity is locked inside a three-dimensional universe, and that the birth of the universe and the origin of life were never coincidences. According to it, life voluntarily descended from higher dimensions to escape annihilation. Before we begin, let's briefly talk about telepathy and quantum entanglement. In quantum mechanics, quantum entanglement exhibits a non-local effect. No matter how far apart two entangled particles are, they react instantaneously to each other. Like twins separated across continents, when one faces danger, the other feels it. This information transfer appears to exceed the speed of light, ignoring three-dimensional distance entirely. So what exactly is transmitting that information? Physicist Niels Bohr believed the two particles were never truly separate. Even when pulled apart, they must still be treated as a single wave system. But how can something so far apart still be considered one entity? Another hypothesis suggests quantum entanglement occurs because the particles remain connected in higher dimensional space. In 3 dimensions plus time, they appear distant, but in 4-dimensional space, they might still be touching. Could human telepathy, like the bond between mother and child, be related to quantum entanglement? If the mechanisms are related, could human consciousness operate in higher dimensions? With that in mind, let's return to Mike's experience. When Mike was 6 or 7, one night before falling asleep, he turned off the lights and closed his eyes. Darkness filled his vision, like slipping from reality into a void-like universe. He imagined himself as a fish, swimming through the darkness. Just before sleep took over, something appeared. He drifted toward a massive, frameless oil painting floating in the void. The colors were vivid, the shapes abstract, like geometric fractals suspended in nothingness. When Mike woke up the next morning, he couldn't clearly remember the painting. Only a vague feeling remained, that he had dreamed of something. From then on, every night before sleep, he searched for that feeling again, letting his consciousness relax, swimming back into the void, searching for that abstract painting until sleep arrived. Years passed. One night he found the painting again, enormous, distant, like the Milky Way hanging in the night sky. He was still just a tiny fish, unable to reach it. Until one night something changed. A flash appeared beneath the painting, like an explosion. A dark hole formed, ejecting strange topological structures. Mike realized this was 4-dimensional space unfolding into 3. Years later, in January 2024, he finally entered the hole. He was pulled through a colorful tunnel into a world of hypercubes. His mind expanded, sensing the entire space at once. But the mental cost was immense, like a computer with only 1 gigabyte of VRAM trying to render infinity. Then a frequency spoke. "Who are you?" The next night, the presence returned. "Lower life form, hello. We reduced our dimensions so you could perceive us. We need your consciousness as a gateway into 3-dimensional space. Our universe has been destroyed by war. We must escape through you." Before Mike could ask how, His mind collapsed into sleep. In the morning, Mike laughed it off. Just a dream, he thought, until the mist appeared, right above his head, and the frequency spoke again, this time, in reality. We failed. You are not lower life forms. You possess both individual and collective consciousness. This universe was created by you. Its constants were designed for your survival after dimensional descent. Even the expansion of your universe protects you from escape. And with that, the mist vanished. Was it all just a dream or something more? Based on string theory, higher dimensions may exist, curled beyond perception. Our three-dimensional world might only be a projection. Humans often ask the wrong question. We ask whether we are alone in the universe. But the more dangerous question is this: why do we remember so little? Not just about the universe, but about ourselves. If humanity once came from somewhere else, then forgetting may not be a failure. It may be permission. This episode follows the events documented in the Descent Protocol. The subject, known as Mike, experienced direct contact with a higher dimensional entity. That entity claimed humanity survived by forgetting. This statement was not explained, so we attempt to explain it here, carefully, and without assuming comfort. We often treat memory as a gift, something that defines intelligence. But in biology, memory is expensive. Every memory requires energy to store, energy to maintain, and energy to retrieve. Most organisms forget by default. Forgetting is efficient. Forgetting prevents overload. The human brain forgets far more than it remembers. This is not a flaw. It is a survival feature. According to the entity, higher dimensions are information dense, too dense for biological cognition. In higher dimensions, nothing is truly hidden. Every interaction leaves a trace. Every thought propagates. Memory there is not selective. It is total. The entity described this as the primary failure mode of advanced civilizations. They remember too much and cannot stop remembering. Memory becomes mass. Consciousness collapses under its own weight. We did not forget, the entity stated. We archived. We preserved. Every war, every decision, every error. Mike asked why that was a problem. The entity responded with a pause. Because choice requires loss, it said. You cannot choose if all outcomes remain present. Your species deletes. Ours accumulated. Eventually, we could no longer act. We could only calculate. The entity claimed humanity was designed differently. Not smarter, not stronger, but more forgetful. Human memory is fragmented, emotional, inaccurate. From an engineering perspective, this is a feature, not a bug. Your forgetting is adaptive compression, the entity explained. You retain meaning, not detail. That is why you can descend and survive. Mike asked the critical question, why were we allowed to forget? The entity answered carefully, because forgetting limits reach. A species that forgets expands slowly. It does not weaponize curiosity immediately. You are safe because you are incomplete, it said. Remember that. Forgetting may feel like loss, but on a cosmic scale, it may be protection. Memory enables power, but forgetting enables restraint. If humanity ever remembers too much, the permission may be revoked. This documentary does not claim truth. It explores a possibility and leaves you with a final thought. Maybe the universe is not hiding from us. Maybe it is waiting to see if we deserve to remember. There is something the universe does not fear. It does not fear intelligence. It does not fear technology. It does not even fear destruction. What it fears is synchronization, not machines thinking faster, not civilizations expanding farther, but minds aligning at the same moment. In the previous episode, we explored why humanity was allowed to forget. Forgetting limits power. Forgetting slows expansion. But forgetting has a counterpart, remembering together. The entity that contacted Mike warned of one specific threshold, a point beyond which a species becomes dangerous. That threshold is not technological, it is cognitive. Collective consciousness is often misunderstood. It is not a hive mind. It is not loss of individuality. It is synchronization without fusion. Separate minds, shared state. Humans experience weak forms of it daily. Empathy, social emotion, mass panic. But those states are unstable, fragmented, temporary. The universe is not afraid of that. According to the entity, civilizations are classified by synchronization potential, not by intelligence, not by energy output. Most civilizations never synchronize. Their minds remain isolated. They expand, compete, collapse, contained by their own noise. A small number achieve partial synchronization, usually through technology, neural networks, artificial interfaces. These civilizations are monitored closely, and a very rare few synchronize biologically. Biological synchronization is what the universe fears because it cannot be shut down, it cannot be unplugged. A synchronized species becomes a single observer, not metaphorically, physically. In quantum mechanics, observation affects outcome. A single observer collapses probabilities one way. A synchronized species collapses reality consistently, across distance, across time. This is not prediction, it is control. The entity identified humanity as unstable, not weak, not inferior, unstable because humans oscillate between individuality and unity. Families synchronize, crowds synchronize, nations synchronize, then fracture, then forget. This oscillation prevents permanent alignment. It keeps humanity below the red line. The entity described this as natural damping, a built-in safety mechanism. Mike asked the question directly. What happens if we cross the line? The entity did not answer immediately. This delay was significant. Containment fails, it said. Reality becomes writable. A synchronized species does not explore the universe. It edits it. Constants are no longer constants. Laws become preferences. The universe loses neutrality. That is unacceptable, the entity concluded. Forgetting disrupts synchronization. Memory loss introduces phase noise. That is why forgetting was permitted, even encouraged. Humanity is safe not because it is weak, but because it cannot stay aligned for long. The universe does not fear our machines. It does not fear our weapons. It fears the day humanity agrees. Not politically, not culturally, but cognitively. Because when a species thinks together, the universe has no defense. The universe has never erased a civilization by accident. Extinction is common, collapse is expected, but deletion is different. Deletion leaves no ruins, no signals, no debris, only silence where complexity once existed. In the previous episode, we explored why the universe fears synchronized minds. A synchronized species becomes a single observer. Reality stops being probabilistic. That threshold has been crossed before, multiple times. According to the entity, humanity is not the first to approach it. We are simply the most recent. Mike asked a direct question. Has this happened before? The entity responded without hesitation. Yes, repeatedly. Synchronized civilizations emerge periodically. They do not expand loudly. They become quiet, too quiet. Deletion does not look like destruction. There are no explosions, no gamma ray bursts. Instead, complexity simply stops. Star systems remain, planets remain, but the signatures of coordination vanish. No synchronized emissions, no structured signals. It is like removing software. the entity explained, without damaging the hardware. The entity pointed to anomalies humans already observe, regions of the universe that appear statistically unnatural, galactic voids with inexplicably low entropy variation, star clusters with no technological noise. You call them quiet zones, it said. We call them cleared volumes. Mike realized the implication. These were not empty because life never arose. They were empty because life was removed. The entity described one such civilization. It evolved around a red dwarf star, long-lived, stable. They developed biological synchronization early, shared dreams, shared memory. Eventually, individual identity became optional. Consensus replaced debate. They crossed the threshold, the entity said. Reality began to respond locally. Physical constants fluctuated near their system. Probability collapsed unevenly. That was unacceptable. Mike asked the hardest question. Who deleted them? The entity answered carefully. Not us. Not a species. The universe enforces self-consistency. Synchronized observers violate it. Deletion is automatic, like an immune response. A civilization is not judged. It is corrected. Mike asked why humanity remains untouched. The answer was immediate. You cannot stay synchronized. You argue, you forget, you diverge. This keeps you below detection thresholds. The universe is not silent because it is empty. It is silent because it has learned. Civilizations are not killed for being violent or greedy. They are deleted for agreeing too well. If humanity ever truly thinks as one, the silence may finally turn toward us. Humanity keeps waiting for a warning, a signal, a message, something unmistakable. But the universe does not warn like that. It does not announce. It does not explain. It changes the rules. A warning at a cosmic scale is not a message. It is a constraint. When a species approaches a forbidden threshold, the environment adapts. Options narrow, paths close, margins shrink. The species believes this is coincidence or bad luck. It is neither. The entity told Mike that the warning had already been issued. Quietly. Your universe is becoming less forgiving, it said. Small errors now have large consequences. Feedback loops tighten. Systems that once tolerated noise now collapse. This is not chaos. It is precision. Mike asked for examples. The entity obliged. Climate instability, not just warming, but volatility. Economic systems amplifying small shocks. Information networks favoring extremity. These are not punishments, the entity said. They are filters. Filters reduce synchronization speed. They force disagreement. They keep your species noisy. According to the entity, this pattern appears near every synchronized threshold. First comes instability, then fragmentation. If the species slows down, the pressure stabilizes. If it pushes through, the environment escalates. This escalation is not targeted. It affects everything. That is the warning, the entity said. Mike asked the question humanity would ask. Is this the last warning? The entity paused. This pause was deliberate. Warnings are not infinite, it said. They are expensive. Once a species understands the pattern, there is no reason to continue. What happens next is not correction, it added. Resolution does not mean destruction. It means removal of influence. A synchronized species does not have to be erased immediately. It can be isolated, cut off from meaningful interaction, reduced to background noise. A civilization can survive biologically, the entity explained, while becoming cosmically irrelevant. Mike understood the implication. Survival is not the same as participation. Humanity has reached the awareness stage. Awareness changes responsibility. After this point, ignorance is no longer plausible. Curiosity becomes intent. You are being watched, the entity said plainly, not individually, collectively. The universe did not send a message. It changed the conditions. That was the warning. If humanity slows, fragments, disagrees, the pressure may ease. If humanity aligns, the silence will deepen. This documentary does not predict the future. It outlines a pattern and leaves one final thought. The most dangerous moment is not when we are ignorant. It is when we finally understand and keep going anyway. But in the end, this is just a story, a thought experiment, a bedtime tale. Good night.